Hi, I'm Asandra Gentry, and this is my video for my final research project. My research question is, do reminders impact performance? Our readings from this semester have covered social psychological research looking at the influences on human behavior. We studied methods of and the effects of persuasion, and I consider reminders a form of persuasion. My hypothesis was that women will walk more steps if reminded. The null hypothesis was a reminder makes no significant difference in performance. If my hypothesis is true, perhaps these results will generate to other areas, like using reminders for homework or to do chores. I found two other studies that looked at the impact of reminders or interventions and their impact on behavior. Both of these social experiment studies had larger samples and were looking for changes in health behaviors for medical interventions. In the Paroli et al. Study done in 2017, which had 64 participants and lasted 28 days, there was a significant overall effect of reminders on achieving daily behavioral goals. The total number of times a reminder was acknowledged as received by a participant had a marginal effect on the daily goal success. The frequency of the reminder, meaning a lot or just a few, or the distribution, meaning if they had been reminded at regular intervals or just several times a day, also made a difference. The Prestwich, Perugini, and Hurling study done in 2010 showed groups with text reminder interventions increased brisk walking relative to the control group. It was believed that the text messages helped participants recall and could enhance interventions that target implement goals. In my study, I used pre-experimental design, which means I had no control group, but I compared the pre-variable and the post-variable results. My independent variable was the participant reminder signal. My sample group was 10 29 to 31-year-old single women. 3 were full-time students and 7 were full-time working women. Each participant understood that this was for a research project on my class, and they agreed verbally to participate. Each participant wore an identical pedometer which recorded steps from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. every day for a week, every day for 2 consecutive weeks. Their instructions were, for the first week, go about your normal daily schedule wearing the pedometer. They were to record their total steps at the end of each weekday. For the second week, they were again told to go about their daily schedule wearing the pedometer, but this time were to set their iPhone alarm labeled steps to go off Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. They were just to turn off the alarm when it signaled. That's it. Again, they were to record their total steps at the end of each day. At the end of the 2-week period, I compared the total amounts from the first week, which was before the reminders, and I compared that to the total of the second week, which is when they had the reminders on their iPhones. I was looking for any differences in totals. Were they increased, decreased, stable? Were there any differences that were drastic or significant? In other words, could any differences be due to chance? I used Microsoft Excel to run a t-test to determine whether or not to reject my null hypothesis. My results indicated a minimal increase in the average number of steps for all the women when they received the reminder. Again, my hypothesis was that the use of a reminder would cause significant increase in the number of steps the women made. The null hypothesis was that a reminder would make no significant difference. I used the 0.05 or 5% significance level. So if the p-value is high, which means greater than 0.05, it would mean the probability of my observed responses could be due to chance, and I would have to accept the null hypothesis that my results could be due to chance. My data results indicated that there was no significant difference in the number of steps the participants made with or without the reminders at the 5% significance level using that. That translates to mean that there is a 95% chance that the differences I saw were due to random chance and not due to some other variable, including my independent variable, which was the reminders. Differences were also not significant by the days of the week with the reminder. If significant differences were seen with a reminder, I would have hoped to generalize the findings to the other tasks when reminders were used. I had hoped that reminders would serve as motivators and they would help improve performance and would be a small, non-invasive method to see improvement in many areas. This proved to be the case for Prestwich, Perugini, and Hurling, and in the Paroli et al. Study. Perhaps future studies could be done with more frequent reminders, as in the Paroli study. A larger study group sample might also be used, like in the Prestwich, Perugini, Hurling study. Age, sex, or study length are also variables that could be manipulated in future studies. And I made a slide of my results so you can see them. I printed them out. This is my table. And I have the first week and the second week with reminders, the days of the week. And here are their amount of steps. And finally, the difference comparing the 2 weeks.